Welcome everyone to a brand new explainer. Today, we're tackling something that I know feels completely out of reach for a lot of professionals, but honestly, it genuinely shouldn't. We're talking about the EB1A Extraordinary Ability Visa. You know, a lot of people look at this and think it's some sort of impossible lottery, like it's a green card reserved strictly for famous billionaires or Olympic gold medalists. But here's the secret. It's not a lottery at all. It's actually a legal code. And today we're going to dive right in and decode exactly how it works together. But first, we really need to talk about why cracking this code is absolutely critical. 15 to 20 plus years. That is the stark reality of the current wait time for the EB2 National Interest Waiver backlog, specifically for Indian nationals. I mean, just put that into perspective for a second. That's literally enough time for a newborn to grow up and go off to college before you actually get your green card. So the stakes for finding a viable alternative immigration pathway have just never been higher. Okay, let's dive into this. The EB1A changes the game completely. It is a first preference category. What does that mean for you? It means 0 decade-long backlogs for most applicants. Yes, even those born in India or China. And it gets better because it's self-petition. You don't need a job offer, and you get to entirely skip the PERM process, that agonizingly slow, highly bureaucratic employer labor certification. When you stack that 0 wait, complete independence up against those massive backlogs, you can totally see why this is so sought after. So here is our insider playbook roadmap. First up, the ultimate green card. Second, decoding extraordinary ability. Third, navigating the 10 criteria. Fourth, strategic profile building. And finally, the final merits trap. Don't worry, we're going to demystify this whole intimidating process step by step. All right, let's jump into part 1, the ultimate green card. High stakes, high reward. The secret is officially out, guys. In fiscal year 2024, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services saw a massive surge. They received roughly 26,000 EB1A petitions. That is a 34% spike from just 3 years prior. Professionals out there are actively hunting for reliable alternatives to those chaotic, totally unpredictable standard work visa lotteries. And who can blame them? Moving on to part 2, decoding extraordinary ability, the legal standard. Now, what's really interesting is the exact legal phrasing. The code defines extraordinary ability as a level of expertise indicating that the individual is one of that small percentage who has risen to the very top of the field. Do you notice what's missing there? It doesn't say you have to be the absolute best in the world. You do not need a Nobel Prize. The very top is actually a structured, highly accessible legal standard that a ton of mid-career and senior professionals can absolutely meet, provided they present their evidence the right way. And how do they actually measure that? Through a landmark legal precedent known as the Kazarian framework. It's basically a 2-step process. Step 1 is a threshold check. Do you meet at least 3 out of 10 regulatory criteria? But step 2, that's the final merits determination. This is where they zoom out and ask, does the totality of your evidence actually prove you've risen to the top? Extraordinary ability isn't just raw talent, it is an evidence architecture. Let's get into part 3, navigating the 10 criteria, what works versus what fails. These are your 10 tools. They range from major prizes and high salaries all the way to scholarly articles and commercial success. The beauty here is the incredibly broad scope of it all. You only need to satisfy 3 of these to pass step 1. So whether you're a scientist publishing groundbreaking research, an artist holding major exhibitions, or maybe a tech founder achieving massive commercial success, there is a path for you here. But this is also where most dreams shatter. USCIS adjudicators are highly trained to spot weak, self-serving fluff. Your company's Employee of the Month participation trophy or a shout-out on a local blog will fail instantly. Genuine evidence means nationally recognized awards evaluated by expert judges or feature articles in major heavyweight outlets like TechCrunch or MIT Technology Review. The quality of your evidence is everything, which brings us to part 4, strategic profile building, the insider playbook. You don't just pick 3 criteria at random. You strategically select clusters based on your profession. For example, researchers, scholarly articles, original contributions, judging. Business tech professionals, critical role, high salary, contributions. It's all about playing to the built-in strengths of your field. But here's the catch. You can't just wake up and file tomorrow. Building this evidence architecture takes anywhere from 6 to 18 months. Media coverage and peer review invitations don't happen randomly. Typically, first 6 months, publishing months 6 to 12, judging invitations. Around month 18, strong petition, this requires deliberate, focused planning. Finally, part 5, the final merits trap. This is the boss level. Only about 50% to 60% of initial petitions are approved. That leaves a 40% to 50% failure rate, either denials or requests for evidence. And here's the kicker. Most rejections don't happen at step 1. They happen at the final merit stage. This is where the profile gap comes in. Many denied applicants actually have strong talent, but they lack an externally validated, adjudicator-readable record of evidence. Your talent alone isn't enough. You must convert it into a legally approvable format. Let me repeat this because it's critical. Bare minimums will get you denied. Just hitting 3 criteria with weak evidence, like 1 low citation paper, 1 minor award, and 1 peer review, might pass step 1, but it will fail step 2. USCIS demands a coherent narrative, a multi-layered record proving real impact. Because the EB1A bar is so unforgiving, insiders often use a tactical hedge called dual filing. You file both EB1A and EB2 NIW at the same time. If EB1A is approved, immediate visa availability. If not, EB2 NIW secures your place in line. So I'll leave you with this. Are you ready to proactively build your legal evidence architecture? Or are you hoping USCIS will magically notice your talent? Extraordinary ability is not a lottery ticket. It is a meticulously constructed profile. It's time to stop relying on hope. Assess your current standing, study the 10 criteria, and start building your case today. Thanks for exploring this with me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.